Hey, hi everyone. My name is Dr. Christine Harrington, and I'm excited to be your professor for lifespan development this winter session. Just want to show you how our course is set up. So when you go into Campus Cruiser into Dashboard, you should see a list of your classes. Right now it's actually showing fall still, so I'm going to shift it over to winter. When you click into the class itself, it'll bring you to the home page of our course, and you'll see here that there are several different parts to it. The first part has the announcements, so this is where I'll make any important announcements. Oops, it's already popping up with the syllabus. We'll get rid of that for a second. Important announcements, and then over here you'll see our class bookmarks, which are all the videos related to our class. The first few are kind of instructional videos on how to do different tasks that you'll need to do, and then you'll see that there are chapter videos. So you'll want to make sure that you watch my narrated PowerPoint, and if there's videos underneath of it, then that means I expect you to watch those videos associated with that chapter. Now, when you pop into this area, this should be the syllabus that just seemed to pop up and disappear. I'm not sure what happened to it, but no fear, we'll just go ahead and access it a different way. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to switch my view to the student view so you can see, so I see it the same exact way that you see it. Okay, let me just see if I can move this screen. It looks like oh, there's the syllabus itself. Let me go ahead and go over the syllabus since it's popped up, and then I'll show you how to access the materials within the course. So here on the first page, you'll see some general information about the class. On the next page, you're going to see more detailed information, like what you'll be able to do at the end of the semester, what topics we'll be talking about, so you'll take your time to look through that. And then what a lot of students are interested in is what do they have to do. So here are some independent learning tasks. Here are some where we'll be working together as a class. And then here are the activities that you'll have to do to kind of show me that you've learned the content. And here you can see there's a visual representation of all of the assignments and how it counts towards your final grade, and the grading scheme is off to the right. All right, when we scroll down, you'll see that you have some general information about how online learning works. You do not need to come to campus at all for this class. We don't have any synchronous or scheduled activities, so everything's on your own as long as you meet the deadlines. And questions can be best asked through the question message board. I'll show you that in a few minutes. That way we can all answer and support each other with those questions. So even though you don't have to come to campus, there is help on campus should you need it. You can certainly use these resources that are available to you. And you also want to make sure you familiarize yourself with all the policy information. Obviously, it's important that we all engage in academically honest work, and you want to make sure you stay on track and know what the policies are regarding late or missed work. Okay, now we're going to scoot down and take a more detailed look at the assignments. The biggest part of your final grade will come from message board conversations. It's important for you to know that they are due actually one day prior to the deadline in the calendar. What I've done is I've kind of made the calendar represent when the conversation ends. I'll explain that again when I get to the calendar on the last page. In order to participate, you need to do your homework and kind of prepare for it before you just jump into the conversation. We don't want you to repeat what others have said, so you want to make sure that you're adding new information and advancing our conversation. And after you've done your initial post, you'll also need to interact with at least 2 peers. And in order to do that, I'm asking that you ask each other questions. I provide you with some examples and answer those questions posed. You don't have to wait for someone to ask you specifically a question. You can jump in and answer any question that was posed in the conversation. So now what you can expect from me is I read all of it. I will grade you individually on your performance, and I do participate pretty actively, including putting a summary at the end of each conversation, but I don't respond to every single post. So, please don't get offended if I'm not answering your post directly. I'm really kind of jumping in as a class to really kind of contribute that way. Here you'll find the rubrics. If you want to get an A, these are the things you should do. And we'll scoot down now to the next part of the syllabus. These are the other assignments. The quizzes are learning opportunities, so you have up to 3 attempts on each quiz, and the highest one counts, so no harm done by doing all 3 attempts. They are open book. If you want to use your materials, that's fine, but it's not really the best way to approach it. You should really kind of quiz yourself and see how well you know it. The midterm and the final, however, are closed book, and they are on kind of tight timetables to help you stay academically honest. And as you can see, the cumulative final is pretty comprehensive with all 19 chapters. Then the last part of the assignments is this research article PowerPoint presentation, which is worth 10% of your grade. And here's a description of what you need to do, and it kind of provides you with all of the information you need to be successful on that assignment. So you can kind of scroll and look through that when the time comes. And lastly, there is an extra credit opportunity. If you'd like to participate, it is worth up to 3% of your grade, so it's pretty significant. And here is the course outline. So as you can see here, the first day, Monday, it looks like you don't have that much to do because you're just doing the biography and watching a few videos. But the truth of the matter is you actually have to do the first response for these two message boards here. So on this day, I expect you to be participating in the biography message board and also your initial response for the resilience and your baby can read. Then on Tuesday, what will happen is you will do your follow-up responses on resilience and your baby can read. So we're kind of ending that conversation Tuesday evening, but you'll also need to post your initial post for environment and poverty and infant and preschool television viewing. So I think you get the hang of it pretty quickly. Basically, your first one is due 1 day prior to. Obviously, that's not possible with the biographies. I'm not grading the biography message board. That's really more just kind of a way for you to get used to it and to support one another. All right, now let's get out of the syllabus and get back into the class. So I'm going to go back. We're in the home page. Over here on the left, I'm not sure if this video is cutting off some of the language, but oh gosh, it keeps popping this video. Hang on a second. But basically, you'll want to know how to use these different features. So the first one I'm going to show you is the message board. And when you click on that, you'll see that these are all the conversations that we'll be having. So let's just go ahead and pop into the first one on biographies. When you click on it, you'll see I have a prompt, so there'll be a question for you to kind of respond to. You should be hitting reply to my prompt initially for your initial one. And just basically you're typing in your content here into this white box. If the prompt requires you to attach an article or something else, you go ahead and just do that through using the paperclip, and then you click submit. Now, the other thing you can do is use the quote feature, which maybe you want to quote something that I said. So let's just say you want to get rid of all the rest. You want to just bring attention to the other part. Then you would just go ahead and click down here, type your answer, and hit submit. That makes the conversations flow pretty well too. So I do encourage you to use the quote feature when it makes sense. So that's how message board works. Let me show you the other features. Right underneath message board is shared files. And this is where you can find lots of important information, the exam review sheets, how to message board documents, the PowerPoint slides for all the chapters, which you'll want to print out before watching those videos. It'll be easier for you to take notes on those. Here are some research articles that you'll be reading for the conversations that we have in the message boards. And here are some sample presentations for that project that you have to do towards the end of the semester. You can access the syllabus in shared files also. It's right there. Or there's a tab all by itself for syllabus. If I click on that, you'll see it's also linked right there. We scroll down. You'll see there's a My Assignments tab, and when you click on that, that's where you'll submit assignments. There's really only two that are getting submitted this way. One is the presentation, and the other one is the extra credit if you opt to do it. And it's very simple. When you click on it, you'll just go ahead and click Submit Your Assignment, and then it'll just ask you to find it and discover where it is. So you just go ahead and find it on your computer and go ahead and hit Continue and then Submit. Pretty easy. The quizzes and exams are all under My Assessments, which is right underneath My Assignments. And you can see all the quizzes are available for you now. Basically, I have like the block of them all due on the same day. So chapter 1 to 10 are due, I know it's on New Year's Eve at midnight. I don't want you doing them on New Year's Eve. Please work ahead of time. My goal is for you to kind of do them as you're working through the content. So you shouldn't wait till the last minute to do all 10. You'll get really tired and you'll be exhausted and frustrated. So do them as you go along to help you learn the content. And I had to do it that way so that you had the weekend to review those quizzes as one of the ways to help you prepare for the midterm, which will be that Monday. The midterm and the final will also be in this category, but it is not here now because they're only available for a couple of days. Okay, if we scroll down over here, there are a couple of other things I want to bring your attention to. Almost at the bottom here is the My Grades. feature, and that's where you can keep track of your grades. I will be very good about getting those grades in, so you'll see me grading your message boards, and the quizzes will automatically pop in and populate there, so you can keep track of your progress. If you need to get in touch with me about a personal issue, you can go ahead and use the journal. This is a way for us to, it's kind of like email, but it's just inside the class instead of in our email. And it's a way for us to keep everything organized. But as I said before, most of the time I'm going to want you to use the message board, this question forum, because other students can see this. So the journal down at the bottom is just you and I, and the message board here is the entire class. So if it's not a personal question, ask it here because a classmate may be able to help you with that. All right, I think that's just about it. Hopefully that gives you a nice overview of how the course is set up. I really do look forward to working with you, and I wish you all the best during this winter session. See you online.